This is NTV.
Enjoy the amazing aroma. Enjoy incredibly soft ugali dal.
Yes, I'm sure you have interacted with KNQA, especially from the service of alignment and validation, where students come to KNQA who have foreign qualifications for what we call alignment. So we are basically translating what you have that is foreign into our qualifications landscape. So that is one of the services that is commonly known. However, our work is more than that, because what we do at KNQA is to ensure that that qualification you are holding, it is issued by a credible awarding body. And that's majorly what we do, to ensure that the qualification that you're holding is credible from a credible awarding body, and that it is of quality. That quality to mean that whatever is in the document, it speaks to what you are able to do, so that we don't have issues of fake qualifications, like that I have a qualification, but I'm not able to do the skill that I'm supposed to do as per the document that I have. And to also make sure that our qualifications are relevant, meaning that our qualifications are going with the emerging trends. Like right now, we are talking about the digital economy. So it's not something that we are preparing to do. We are already living in the digital economy. So that is majorly what we do, to also ensure that we are doing all that in terms of quality and relevance using a tool that we call a National Qualifications Framework. This framework has standards to ensure that we have qualifications that are of standard, such that if I have a diploma, we have given the requirements for a diploma. It's supposed to be a 2-year diploma, so that you don't get into an institution where you do a 6-month diploma, which when you come out into the industry, it is considered as null and void. So at KNQA, we have those standards for what a qualification should have in terms of entry requirements, in terms of the duration you are supposed to be in that school, and in terms of the total learning that you are supposed to have. That is standardized, and that is what we do. So we regulate quality and relevance using that tool, and also ensuring that your qualifications are recognized here in the country. And as people move, as you move, you are also moving with qualifications. So our work is to ensure that wherever you go, your qualification will be recognized and comparable to what we have here locally. So that's basically what we do. Thank you.
Thank you. And let's kindly make our intros short so that we can get to the matter at hand.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
I'm Jacob Gatimo. This is my town. I work for the Directorate of Labor Migration Management. This is a directorate responsible for ensuring that, labor migration, it is multifaceted. There are so many prayers. So our responsibility is to coordinate and make sure labor migration is safe, orderly, productive, and regular. So I know most of you have questions, but we provide regular pathways for employment outside there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll ask you to hand over the microphone right here. Dr. you can make your intro.
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Anna Yegon. I work with the Ministry of Youth Affairs, the Creative Economy and Sports in the State Department for Youth Affairs and Creative Economy. What do we do there? We provide an enabling policy environment for the youth initiatives to be implemented in the country. We provide an enabling environment for any player in the sector that does youth work. We undertake skills development for young people. You've had digital skills is what is needed today, and that is the environment that we are providing. The skills development is through the projects that we undertake. We also provide entrepreneurial support. We have key agencies that offers affordable loans to the young people. We have key agencies that also ensure creative development. Creative economy is promoted, like film production, film school. We also ensure that the youth are engaged in civic education so that they can be able to be aware of what opportunities exist in the country, what they are expected of them, which are these spaces they are able to engage in. So we offer opportunity for youth voice to be heard. There are so many opportunities that youth can be able to partake from the ministry.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Dr. We'll get on to the questions. You see how relevant the questions are. They are directly going on to specific ministries. And I believe that with that and the different departments that we have right now, we can be in position to answer the first question that was asked by this gentleman. Kindly remind me your name? Marshall. Marshall asked a question about generational gap. And it actually informs the kind of ethics that we have. To the Gen Zs, me saying that I'll do this job tomorrow does not mean I am rude. But ethically, if I say that I'll do this job tomorrow, does that also violate any form of ethics or guidelines set by a company? I don't know who'd like to pick up that question, a question on ethics. Daktari, would you like to pick that one? This young gentleman, Marshall, said that there is a big generational gap in that there are standard set rules that all these other generations have been able to pick with a lot of passion. But then the Gen Zs are a dynamic set of generation whereby if I would like something done, I'll tell you, I will deliver. They make a promise and say, I will deliver this thing tomorrow at 5. But for you, you say that this thing must be done now. And then it becomes a question of, is it a question of ethic? Or because they feel like you now say that they are rude. Yet they're saying that we just know what we want to do and we're going to do it on maybe on a later date. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Okay, thank you so much. That is a very beautiful question. I want to believe that when we are aligned, the way the theme speaks, youth empowerment, digital skills, and AI, we need to be aligned because this is a requirement. If it is a job that requires you to do 1, 2, you go by what the job describes you to do. And it's not a question of saying it is unethical or what. It is just a question of changing the way you've been doing things and approaching what is asked of you. And the way, even in school, when a teacher tells you, I've given you this assignment to do a mathematical question, you will be able to do as per the way the teacher asks you. So that one also will not be too much. It is just a requirement in that job description that you have been given. You just do as per that, and you are right to go.
Are we okay with that one? My town, are you okay about that one? Yes, because if you applied for a job and they said you have to come in at 8 and it's from 8 to 5, and you are saying, can I leave at 2? Is that a question of you not making a commitment to something that you addressed prior, or it's a question of you trying to tackle the set rules? How many people feel like that question has been answered? How many people from my town feel like that question has been answered? For the rest, what do you think? For those who think that it's not been answered, would you like to put in some weight on that? Yes.
All right, all right, thank you. My name is Manasseh. This is my town. All right, yeah. So I understand, but we need to understand that we have. I'm also working kind of 9 to 5, but then when I went there, I said, if you guys are to benefit of everything that I am to give to the company, you need to understand the times that I am most productive. And for me, and then the time that I'm most productive is not even from 9 to 5, because I'm productive from 8 p.m. all the way to midnight, and a bit also in the morning, around the morning hours. So the rest of the time, and they have been able to understand, and I am productive, and I am better. The other one is also dressing. I wear suits, and I wear according to what. But I understand sometimes you may have reservations, all of that. But what I'm saying is we also need to think about the future, because right now, most of the works, if you have your laptop, you can do them from home. So sometimes it doesn't even make sense why you have to go to work, where you can just do everything at home. Just give me a deadline. Tell me I need this to be done by Tuesday. And I'm not trying to be rebellious. It's just truth. If I can do it from home, so at least, okay. There are people who come all the way from Thika Road. They come for, they probably they work in Kilimani or in town. They stay at the road jam for like 2 hours. So that's 2 hours already is not there. They get to the office, they're already hungry. They took breakfast, but they're already hungry. Then they now start preparing breakfast. That's already like another 1 hour, and then now they're also tired because of that. So now, and then now they start around 11. You get? They start now working at around 11, right? And then now they work, and then around lunchtime, now they go for an hour of lunch. You find that person has only been productive for 2 hours. I don't get why go through all that when I can just stay at home. If you need me to be on Teams meeting, I will be there, right? Because you don't really need to, and that's what we need to talk about, and that's what we need to I'm very sorry, I'm taking a bit of time, but we need to align. If I can do the things from at home, if we can jump on a Teams meeting, we are saving money, we are saving the office's Wi-Fi. I'm using my Wi-Fi from at home, right? Electricity, you don't have to buy water, I don't get, we just stay at home. Thank you.
Hi, to my panelists, and I'll try to make it as open as possible so that it's not directed to one person in particular, but we're just in a town now, and I'd like you to help me understand, within the departments in the government or different organizations or even spaces, don't you think it's high time we now uniquely study a generation and get to understand how best we can navigate that space together and get the productivity out of that? You have something to say? Yes.
I think what we should do as a nation and as organization, we should understand the changing world of work. We need to be positive about it and have either an hybrid kind of working where somebody can work at home and sometimes in the office. Understanding also, there are some work that has also become obsolete, which is 8 to 5. Others you are supposed to attend to clients. For the 8 to 5 work, you need to attend to clients. You can't do it virtually. So as Gen Zs, we also have to understand what nature of work am I doing. If it is work that I need to physically attend to my client, I will be there 8 to 5. But there are also some other works that you can do them virtually at home and meet your deadlines. So as government or as policy makers, as employers, we need to come up with policies that incorporate all the generations, because we have millennials, Gen Xers, Gen Zs in the workplace. There needs to be policy change on the timing of work time, the time we do our work.
I love that we are now making a form of agreement here in this town. There's a little bit of order, right? Because she's saying that we need to now understand that the job market in a change. Yeah. And maybe if I'm required to work from home, then if we make a policy whereby my employer knows if I clock in, I might clock in for 2 hours and then uniquely make sure that I get to work on my deliverables, things that I'm supposed to deliver at the end of the day. So, iko sawa? Aye, thank you, town. Aye.
Thank you. I think whereas the 8 to 5 concept could be so much ingrained within the public sector, the private sector is a bit different. Of course, they have embraced some changes. Why? Out of push factors. Even in public service, when we had COVID, that's the time we realized that we can work from home. Even as we work for government, we never knew that we can work from home. And actually, the government put up infrastructure to ensure that I can work from home. Yesterday, I think, or today, the CS Public Service issued a statement where it's saying that government employees, you are cautioned. 8 is the time and 5, is the time. And I think there was a lot of debate this morning regarding that directive. And a question came, if I'm on the desk at 8, does it mean I'm more productive than the one who comes in at 10? Because I could be there from 6 to 6, loitering around and doing nothing. So, and I think the boss of Kotu has been arguing for change from performance, which is ticking the box. I was here at 8, I cleaned the table, that performance component, to a component of productivity. And I think that's what he is alluding to. So how do we then adapt more a performance, a productivity culture as opposed to a performance culture? I can wipe this table for 20 hours if the work is wiping a table, but I can do it for 2 seconds if the work is wiping at Expo. So within the public and private sector then, how then do we align policies that say, look here, it's not a question of 8 to 5, but what am I doing? I can come to the office at 10, but I've done work for 3 hours for the organization, you know. So policy-wise, I think, yes, the private sector is quite ahead, and I think the pressure then is on the public sector also to ensure that we have policies that are friendly to the work environment, especially appreciating, one, the component of technology issues that have come on board, and also the generation that we are dealing with. Thank you.
I love that. Town, are we having an agreement here? Oh, yeah, I think that this... Nyinyi mmetoka wapi nyinyi? My town council is doing a great job, isn't it? Yeah, they're from this town. That's why we are working well. Now, there was a big question on digital work and emerging work from the gentleman. Digital work, let's say our interaction with computers. Say the year 2000 was when everything went alebit.com. And most of the people here are born in between year 97. 97 is the oldest Gen Z. The youngest Gen Z is 2013. Is there anyone who was born in 2013 here? 2013? Karibu inue mkono, form 1. No, I'm kidding. So I just want you to understand, 97 to 2013, around there, is when we have the Gen Zs. And so the digital work is actually an emerging field. I'd like to know the question on taxation. We've not even understood what the job is. Daktari, surely. Hata tuja understand ni nini tunaambiwa tutaweka tax hapo. Manze, sindio? Amesema we don't even understand how people make money on TikTok, how people make money on social media platforms. I'm equally trying to find myself. It's an emerging space. So how best do we tax things that we don't already understand? I don't know who's best qualified or fit to answer that question. And is it fair? You can even give an opinion on is it fair to actually tax jobs that have not been well understood? And they're not properly structured to say that hii kazi inaingisha 5,000, so nakata umse sotano. And maybe it's not even consistent, so we don't know how to come about that. I know you're not qualified for taxes, but me najua you are a Kenyan. What do you think as a member of this town? Talk to us.
I would want to say that that's also a very beautiful question on taxation. When taxes are introduced, it is expected that the laws that have been passed have undergone public participation. We've contributed, we've made comments, we've sent memoranda. So when it is passed, it is our understanding that these laws have been subjected to public participation. And when they look like it is not favorable to us, I want to believe that there are forums where we can voice out such issues where it is not pleasing us. There are forums we can be able to voice, especially on the businesses. There are forums we can be able to voice out so that perhaps these laws can be made favorable and meet what because laws are made by man. We are the ones who make the laws, we are the ones who proposes changes, and when changes are made, it is meant also to support us. I think that is what I can say.
Thank you, that's fair enough. Is that fair enough, my town? Ama mkuelewa? Aya, sawa sawa. What do you have to add on there? Kuna mtu over there, she was going on the same. Aya.
Hi, my name is Naomi, my town. This is my town.
This is my town.
So, you say like when taxes are involved and people have been told, let's go back to just the housing tax. We were not told, especially as the youth. I'm sorry, I'm just being dramatic, sorry. We were not told, sawa, it happened, and then we got angry. So we started Nini online. hashtags online, and then they stopped it, and then now they had the public participation again, and then reinstated it. So when it comes to taxes, especially in this generation, they don't understand. Someone from Kapsabet or Muranga, or they don't understand the terms you use. So as the youth, how are you teaching with simple language that is not law? I have not gone to law school. That you're in the employment sector, you're being taxed this amount, or you're in the digital space, you're being taxed this amount, and this is why. Like, we need to understand, the why is very important. That is why we contest on a lot of things. So the why.
Okay, I love that expression. One more from him.
Good afternoon. My name is Mushiri Kuria. I've studied surveying. And on a really practical note, a few years ago, I imported a drone from Alibaba. It cost me around 12,000. It was really hard-earned money from a Gen Z. And then apparently, kuna taxes, kuna whatnot. So they ended up like being unable to release to me the drone. Even though it was a consumer technology, it's literally a toy in most of the countries in the world. So anyway, I got a different opportunity. I got to study from a Luxembourg, let's say, college about drone technology. And again, now I can't have it because I have to convert my degree. Madam Rita, maybe you'll address this. I have to pay around 80,000, 90,000 to convert now something that I have gained as a different opportunity. So when you don't have money, you can't be helped. When you do get the certificate, you have to convert it. So how will the Gen Z survive?
Okay, that's a good question. I think you've thrown it to Madam Rita. And also on matters qualifications, I think we're just going to jump straight and ask, how fair is it? We will get there. We will get there. Kindly allow me to run the town. Kidogo too. We will get on that question from Kotu. We got a question that you get into a job and they're asking you for 10 years of experience. You are 18. Nauliza tu, si ndio? Nimeongea vibaya hapo kweli jameni? You're 18, so when did you start working? Yeah, the question of qualification sometimes and these emerging jobs. So kindly, you can give feedback to the gentleman. The question on tax cannot end. It's very sensitive right now. We might carry it forward to someone who can deal with taxes directly. Most of them are not from those ministries. Sawa. Hi, asante.
Thank you for that very good question. And as youth, we always get qualifications from the various institutions. And we are also living at a time where we have internet. So it's easy to study from the comfort of your home. We understand all that. However, when you get this qualification, and you know with our education system here, the education systems are different. What we have in Kenya is different from what is in England. So the reason why there's the need for you, after you have gotten that qualification, you have to translate it to how it will be understood here in Kenya. So that it's easy now for you when you're looking for a job and then you give out that document, it will be understood by the person you are giving it to. Or if you also want to proceed still in education and you want to get into an institution here in Kenya, it will be easy for you to be able to work with that qualification in the various doors you are looking for opportunities. That's why there's the need for that translation. Because if you stay with a qualification that wherever you go, bado unaambiwa hii ni nini, unaulizwa maswali mengi, it's still now it will be a lot of legwork on yourself. That's why the issue of translating or aligning a qualification is important to ensure that it opens the doors for you as you're seeking the various qualifications. On the issue of experience, one thing that where I sit, we are focusing more on youth gaining skills rather than the traditional diplomas or degrees that we are all conversant with. We are more into recognizing the skills that we know are required And as human beings, we learn throughout our lifetime. And from where I sit also, we are recognizing this lifelong learning by ensuring one, and also in education right now, we have various reforms that are looking at the youth gaining skills, such as right now we are coming up within education, there's qualification designs or curriculum designs such as modularization, where you are going to learn a specific module and you are given a unit of competence for you to be able to use that in the world of work, such that if it is a diploma, you are able to train this diploma in a modularized manner so that as you are learning, you are also earning money so that you are able to proceed all the way up to finishing all the modules for you to now get a diploma. And we are also having micro-credentials, where micro-credentials are small units of assessed learning that are employable, where now you just do a micro and you are able to be employed in the world of work, such that we are more into skills. What are you able to know, understand, and do? Other than how many the years of experience, provided you are able to show that you have a skill that skill can be employable and it is demonstrable, then you are able to get a skill. So that's where, when I speak about the National Qualifications Framework, it is more of a learning outcome based, more on skills and competencies that are acquired. Mm-hmm. That's how far I can answer that.
I love the response. You want to add something?
I just wanted to add something small. Experience is a consideration when you are being promoted, not when you are on the entry. Because skill competence, I've seen people who have joined the government at a very high level, and they are just green from private sector. So mostly when you are entering the job market, like you started somewhere, you have gone somewhere. When you are going to the next level, this is where experience is considered. So for the youth, don't be scared. Experience, they are calling it competencies. How competent are you? Because you find my generation, we are analog. They are there. You find he is more smarter in terms of AI, IT things doing. As much as I've worked in IT for even 20 years, he'll come and become my boss simply because I look at that line. So experience these days, I think, is not really a serious issue, and you should not be scared. Mm-hmm. Most important thing is when you see an opportunity, run for it, try your luck. You'll always be told what has made you not to be considered. Thank you.
Oh, I love that one. You beg to differ. Are you single? If you are you date enormous, babe, I have a question. All right, let's go.
I beg to differ with both of the inputs. This is why I want to show my experience, but to who? To where? To what? Because I want to show my resilience, but I have applied, and it said 10 years experience. Yesterday we were in another panel, and they said they have a way to categorize. So even when I apply, it has already been disqualified even before I get a chance. You see, so it is difficult. I'm not sure if you've gone to the job market right now. Like, huwezi apply anywhere without lying, going to AI, getting those qualities they think you have, and then you learn on the job. That is how we are surviving as youth.
So utaki kudanganya.
So mi sitaki kudanganya. Mi nataka kukuambia, this is what I have, this is what I can present. This is my true self. But you're not giving us that opportunity. So whatever you're saying, it is the truth, but not the real truth.
We are not disqualifying each other. We are trying to just say, from where you sit, it looks like experience is not required, or sometimes you might actually go up the ladder with the kind of skill and talent that you have. But as soon as you get into the job market, then there is challenges. So they're just expressing their challenges. Let's go.
Hello, guys. Mugabe Dennis is my name. This is my town. I beg also to differ a bit. And my point came from my brother's point, where he's saying that he has really struggled to advance to at a particular level and get a particular technique, a particular knowledge, whereby when it comes to Kenya, he is supposed now to maybe transform it now to fit in Kenya. Whereas, for example, we have nurses, whereby most of the parts we nurses from now Kenya end up working there because instead of embracing the knowledge that we have here, now I've come now with the knowledge. Yes, it maybe I've acquired it from maybe South Africa. Why can the job market then ask? Give me an opportunity to explain. This is what I did. This is what I have acquired, and then we ask ourselves our questions. Then how best can it fit in our economy so that now maybe we can nurture this person who has maybe focused to a particular point to bring home something that we can adopt.
I love that. Aya, so I'll put a pin on that. Allow me to put a pin on that because I'd like them to respond on a simple question. Are there bilateral talks with other countries to make sure that we can unify our documentation in that you can recognize some of the, how do they call them, online universities, to make sure that if I pay for a skill, for example, he said that he had to look for money, but the conversion of that meant that he had to pay an extra 80,000 shillings to make sure that his skills and qualifications are actually accredited. Can we have bilateral talks with these countries and make sure that we get to have that in that, instead of promising people jobs abroad, we can work from right here and study from right here. Sindio? Amaje town? Sindio? Any response from that? For that, sorry.
Maybe a small attempt on that, and probably my colleagues will talk more on it. Now, what is experience? That is a question that we have to quantify. From this sense, you can work for 10 years and you have 1 year experience, or even 1 day experience. That whereas your CV shows you came to this organization from 2020 to 2025, your experience is 1 day. That whatever you are doing, you took an hour to run, and you have not improved yourself in any way. So the CV will be showing 5, but in reality, you are 1 hour experience. What am I saying? The government has taken several approaches to deal with that issue of experience in these 2-3 ways. Number one, it is important, yes, to have some experience for you to work at some level. That is given. Because sometimes you could be superintending over people who are more exposed than you, and that could be a challenge. I don't know whether you have seen yourself being a stranger in an environment where you can't supervise people because they have more, what it takes more. You have the papers, yes, but in terms of their know-how, it's bigger than yours. When I went for industry attachment, those years then, I met these gurus in the company who told me, we hear you are the new graduate. Wacha tunyamaze, sasa tuonyeshe what we should be doing. Of course they know you don't know, but they want to play around with your papers because wewe sasa ndio the new kid in town, tuonyeshe vitu hapa. Na hizo vitu wanajua hawanjui. So what did the government do? The government has come up with several programs. Number one, I know in TVET they have a program that they are calling dual training. Why are we coming up with dual training? The dual training component is to ensure that as you run, through the Courage Drive, you have an integration with company experience, hand in hand, so that by the time you graduate, then we are talking of a person who has the knowledge and the skills at the same time. In the industrial training framework, we call it apprenticeship training, where if you join a program that is 3 months, you are around to do 1 month in a training institution and 2 months of that training in the workplace. And the reason for that is to ensure ukimaliza hakuna kitu inaitwa nini, we need experience, because you already gathered the experience during the course of your running. In fact, that program does not have anything called industry attachment, because by default, you are getting experience as you run. Number two, the government has a program that is now being called recognition of prior learning. Why has it come? And probably in the coming months, you hear so much about it. Recognition of prior learning is a program for quantifying skills that you already have, irrespective of how and when you acquire those skills. And this is the reason. It has been realized that we have a lot of a lot of bureaucracies on things that should not be. That we are subjecting people to running what they already know. I couldn't be a mechanic. Let me use that basic example. Mimi, baba yangu alikuwa mechanic. For some reason, from when I was in class 8, nilikuwa naishi naye kwa garage, kwa workshop. By the time I am 18, I am a better mechanic than a person who is a bachelor's degree holder in mechanical engineering. So what was the system like before? The system was such that for me to be given a certificate as a mechanic, I have to go to a school and learn what I already know. So what did the government do? In 2024, a policy was launched for recognition of prior learning, for us to appreciate those kids, irrespective of where and how they were learned. In fact, we're having a system where you are just called for an exam. Prove that you know. Nobody will ask you who taught you, where you are taught, etc. What is your level 10 to proper, unakuwa assessed na unapewa certificate without care of where or when you learned. And I may challenge the persons who are here. If you have any skill that you have learned on your own, walk to any TVET or industrial training center and they will assess you for recognition of prior learning. So even the ones that have come with skills from out of the country, walk today in any institution and seek to have those skills, let me use the word, quantified, and they will be equated to a local qualification. And with that, you will be home to go. Enda ukatafute kazi, enda ukafanya kazi.
Asante. Thank you, Town Council member, and thank you to my town for having that kind of interaction. I love it because we are now having a conversation. I'll finish with 2 questions because I've been told we have to break off for lunch. You already asked the questions. I'm sorry, I'll cut you short. They're already here. There was the question on talent hubs being created, but as soon as the talent hubs have been created, the young lady, remind me your name? Rose. Rose actually said that talent hubs have been created, yes, but you get into a space where, especially in the arts and sports sector, some positions have been overly sexualized if you want to get what you want to get. How can we guarantee, in terms of labor, a level of protection for these young people, or young men and women who just want to genuinely do their job and go home and not use my craft? For example, she talks about dancers. You're a dancer. That position is overly sexualized, and now it becomes hard to get to navigate in that space. Anytime you walk into a room and say, I am a professional dancer, there watu wanaanza kukuangalia, hey, shanga sasa huyu, ni wale wa kudance? Yeah, they look at you in a particular way. How do we restore that level of respect in different fields? And yeah.
Is best handled by labor.
Oh, labor. Sawa sawa. As labor prepares to answer that, there is the question on youth, women, and the marginalized in the community, and special consideration to peoples with disability. I think that's a question that can be answered by any one of you who would like to answer that, because yesterday we almost had a full-blown conversation on people with disability and how there is no special recognition. Nyange is here. Nyange was the one who was giving us very strong hot points. Unaona, kwa ofisi unaingia, if you're visually impaired, it becomes hard for you to navigate. You graduate from school, you've been in special institutions. As soon as you graduate, you have to integrate with the society. It becomes troublesome. My council members, any one of you can attempt at answering that, apart from the first question on that'll go directly to labor.
Thank you. If I may attempt, if you look at the current framework that the government is running, we are running under the better agenda, the bottom-up transformation agenda, as we call it. If you look at it, the government has 5 flagship areas. Among the 5 areas is the digital spire and the creative arts. That was not there before. And what the government has seen is that as opposed to dealing with the traditional ways of things, then we have this space that has not been tapped, and there must be initiatives to tap it. Because how does government work? The government realizes a problem in an area, then works on the policy enablers for it. So by having it as part of an area of focus by the government, then a ministry was created specifically with a state department for those initiatives. I know what could be lacking is adequate information on the interventions that are being done by the various state departments for persons to know what actually we are doing and what we are not doing. And I think part of these initiatives that we have sitting here talking to people then make it better for the public to appreciate and understand what the government is doing. I think at one point we had this the president saying, it appears I'm the only one who is telling people about what the government is. He appeared to be more vocal than most of us in as far as government issues are concerned. But I can confirm, yes, within government agencies like ourselves, there are various policy directives that have been given, even on the issues of the last component that you talked about, disability mainstreaming, etc. Every year we have performance contract targets that have to do with how much you are mainstreaming the component of disability. We even have a quota for procurement, for employment, that at any one point in the public sector you give an opportunity, then you must reserve a percentage for persons that are in that particular sector. Hitherto, even when you are saying that then you are giving people employment or procurement opportunities, you must show it. And every year we are reporting on the interventions that we are doing. Like ourselves, we are in training, assessment, and certification. And one of the things that must have is that in our training frameworks, in our assessment frameworks, and I know that is happening across the education and training sector, you must have structures and systems that are supposed to accommodate the plight of the people people that are living with disability. In addition, the issues of the marginalized. For instance, at the National Industrial Training Authority, we run a program. One could say it is gender biased. We have a program that we call the Female Engineering Program, where we support females into engineering disciplines. When did we pick females and engineering? We realized that the gender parity is very high, that the number of maids in engineering is more than the number of females. So we have a program that sponsors to the full ranges, but specifically from marginalized communities, every year. And we are partnered with the private sector for that, to ensure that we raise that number to a considerable level. A few months ago, we ran a very interesting program for assessing persons with skills acquired informally in the building and construction sector. And our focus was the affordable housing sites. And this is, the focus was on 30% females, 70% males. We got into a problem that we only got about 5 to 8%. Then Gen Z renders are the only ones in there who kwa kuinua mawe. Hawakukuwa wengi. But you see now, what did the government do? Come up with an intervention to ensure more female participation in that very, very space, at least to ensure that we have gender parity and youth parity in most of these programs. So I think from where I sit as government, I appreciate that we have homework in terms of coming out to the public, saying what we are doing, and having these initiatives being seen as working for the benefit of each one of us. Thank you.
I love that you've touched on both of them. To appreciate Tafadhali. He's really attempted to answer two questions at once. Daktari, I want you to speak as a parent on this one. Your daughter has gone out. They want to be a professional dancer. The field has been tarnished. Should they stop being what God gave them, that talent that God gave them?
Okay, thank you for the question. I had wanted to approach the question in this manner on the issue of better and the creative economy. It is a priority of the government, and you find that there has been a lot of enhancement in development of talent by young people. We have Kenya Film School, we have Kenya Film Services, we have Kenya National Innovation Agency. Every year they commemorate, like Kenya Innovation Agency, they commemorate annually on identifying talents by young people. They compete and they are able to be supported. That is why you will find monetizing of talent or Talanda Ella. It was meant to really enable young people. That talent that you have, you earn from it, and it will, whatever you get, you improve your livelihood, or you further you improve yourself. On the issue of what you've told us on what can happen when someone is harassed, I think there are channels where such complaints can be done. Remember, like Ministry of Gender, the issue of gender-based violence, there is a way these issues can be handled in various counties or whatever. There is a center for complaining. You can take your complaint and government can take up that and see how the issue can be sorted out. I think there are avenues for all this to be sorted out. It's only that you get out, reach out, and then that issue can be sorted out. I hope I've answered partially.
Nani amezusha? Aya, ya mwisho, I'll hear from you, but it's an expression of what's going on ground. It's not you looking for a solution now. Are we together? Yeah, can I get a microphone there? Real quick. Alafu, we'll do our final submissions from everyone. What's your promise to the people of my town? So. And then also my people, we have to appreciate them. So I'll get 2 people to give an appreciation and what's your promise to them, okay? Because it's our town, we have to make sure that it's a peaceful town. Yes, just give us, nini nafanyika pale kwa ground?
Okay.
Simama ndio tukupate vizuri.
Okay, that wasn't my question. My question ilikuwa, tuseme, like, kama ni content creation, how do the government knows, inajua venye, awa wenye wanafanya hii content, haiko sexualized? From the way they dress, the way they are.
Control measures.
Yeah.
Yani wa create environment yenye itakuwa fiti, to make sure that hawa watu wakai ni kama wanaji over sexualize. Nice. Is that a better question?
Mtu akienda kuapply kazi na talent yake inachukuliwa kama tuseme kumarket SDG. Mtu anajua yenyewe hii ni kitu yenye inaweza create awareness, then akienda kuulizia kazi kila mtu anamshush off.
Okay, nice. Have you understood the question?
Okay, I think you brought the question well. I believe that whenever there are forums where you're presenting your talents, you presenting whatever talents you're presenting to the public, whatever dressing will depend on whatever you are voicing out. I want to believe that whatever you are doing, in most cases they are for educative purposes. You are also presenting your talent. You want to gain from that talent and all that. So I want to believe that it may not be the way you are putting it. It is.
Kuna kitu ya kusema?
I think there is maybe.
No, I love what you're saying because anasema, ndio mimi I'm doing my job.
Yes.
But you look at the field that we are in.
Yes.
Now there are other people who are shooting content that is overly sexual. Are there measures to make sure that we get to control that space, in that space is actually dignified? Any one of you, my council members, can actually give feedback on the same.
I think I want to give it a trial because I'm getting what she's saying. For example, you go to the social media, you portray, and I believe most of them are in Facebook. There is somebody I always see in Facebook who says, you cannot watch my portal because I'm not naked. Now, the society we are in, it's evolving, but we have not reached that point. But I believe with the creative art economy, we need to do something for you to understand that when you find Gatimu was dressed the way he was dressed, doing what he was doing, that was meant for that purpose, but it's not that he was disrespectful or over exposing yourself. Because when I get her, she's saying, there are things you shoot. When you do them, the dressing is meant for that, and that is not you. Like we see the traditional dancers, the way they dress, it is not their wish, it is the dance which require them to dress. So I think in future we need to get your opinion, I think through the Ministry of Youth, and we are able to evolve this process. How well do we protect this area by making sure that, but my question to all of them, how do we do with the society? Because this is societal condemnation.
Aya, town, hapo tumechoma ama tujachoma sisi wenyewe? Because we are the ones shooting the content, and we are the ones who dress up like that. Hapo town tumechoma ama tujachoma?
Tumechoma.
Do you feel like government should come in and say, no dressing like this? She's saying there should be a rule that government should say, hakuna kuvaa hivyo? Or you're talking about... Ngoja kwanza.
So it's just, I get what she's saying. So there's these people who are overdoing content on TikTok, and that is why right now they're like parental something, so that when you have a child and you're leaving the tablet to them, they can't access certain content, because even you as a parent, you're fearful of the content that they're consuming. So this is the control. Control is something that should happen, and it's a conversation that should be had in this manner. That there are some people who go to tap and such content enye hata we mwenyewe unashangaa, you know. And then when you're there doing tap, maybe for your business, because these days people go live on TikTok, I'm selling this, and they sell, you see. And maybe when I'm dancing, I'm like showcasing a live move, you know. I'm wearing maybe just shorts, but when somebody scrolls, they will start saying, awa ni kama wale wengine. So if there's just a small measure to control certain things like that, then it could really make sense for now, even small upcoming content creators or even dancers to just get a step in.
My town, I want us to, it's a debate now, and you could actually be of your own opinion. Do you believe that it should be you who's controlling that, what you access, what your children access, or do you feel like it should be a crackdown by government? How many feel like it should be a crackdown by government? The government will create control, waseme, there's no dressing this way and it's a rule. How many feel like it should come from government? So majority believe that it shouldn't come from government. How many believe that it's our own social responsibility to take care of ourselves and actually control that? The two ladies still insist that it should be both. Final expression from you. Yes, just give this gentleman a microphone to scare. Make it short and sweet. We are finishing in the next 2 minutes. That's why I'm really cutting on time. But I love the passion.
Hello. On the issue of regulation, on a question on an aspect of sexualizing, I think when you want the government to get involved, it's like the USA. They will ban the platform completely. So it's on a negative side.
I want to hear the final expression, and I'm done with that. Because we are not here trying to convince you because you have a mind made up, and you're not trying to convince anyone else because you have your mind made up. Some feel like it should be me controlling my platforms, shouldn't be a directive from government. And you feel like, you see, people want to have a control of their own devices and own measures. You can express in any language.
My name is Diana Ingasiani. This is my town.
This is my town.
Yes, and there is a line, a very clear line, between what the art requires you to dress like and when it comes to how people just generally sexualize some aspects of this art. Like, there is a way swimming requires you to dress like, there is a way dancing requires you to dress like, there is a way gymnastics requires you to dress like. We have no problem with that. But a problem begins when the general environment of how you sexualize, like that kind of skill. Yes, I would like her to just add on it.
All right, let's make it shorter. Thank you.
Okay, it's like unaona venye government imeban tobacco use. Walieka hiyo measure wakasema
they put a control measure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So by the time inafika inabaniwa, it has been controlled to that point. Unanipata? Si kama USAID venye anasema kitu yenye tu inakuja inabaniwa tu hivyo.
Yeah.
So ukiweka control measure, dancer haizi kuja tu kwa stage amefunga bandana na ana dance and then zianguke.
Kudade.
Exactly. Hiyo ni kitu yenye ita raise pia watoto wakikam wanaona it's normal. I'll dress it out there and then anything happens, we are raising the alarm. Kuna GBV inaendelea, kuna femicide. We want the measure. Government ikileta measure, sisi kama people wenye wana use social media, tutaitumia your platform kama kuminimize. Ndavaa kitu at least it's decent. Dance itaonekana. You have the talent.
Yeah. Thank you, Rose. Umesikia amesema hizo points vile ni tamtamu.
Yeah.
I'll put a pin on that. Now, during our break, unaweza kuta huyo mtu muongee. Sawa sawa? Yes, so that this conversation does not end here today. Aki Nyange wewe wacha story yako. Leo sikupicha. Tuanze na sisi. Nyange unasemaje?
Yani mimi napenda at Brian Waiseli. Yani anasema anipei na ananipea. Ndivyo? Tumpige makofi. So me nataka kupose a challenge, and this I'm speaking as an individual, not representing my institution, not representing anyone but myself. What about we start ourselves? Hivi, sio ukiona hiyo clip ya mtu ana dance akiwa uchi ukose kuwatch. What about that? Right? What about tukikosa kuwafollow? Hello? Unajua mimi niko blessed kwamba hata siwaoni, lakini yeah, naona your point. I'm just wondering, what about kesho mimi ambaye nimedance uchi nipate tu nimeunfollowiwa na watu? What about tu nipate content yangu haiwatchiwi? You know, I think this is more of a societal issue than government. It is true government is to put policy, but unfortunately, sometimes in administration, you may not be able to please everyone. If government comes in to put policy, I'm telling you, we'll be crying than laughing. Thank you.
Wapi makofi ya Nyange? Na Nyange unakuanga na wisdom, kwenda huko. Anakuanga na wisdom sana, but I feel like we are lying to ourselves every single day. We are the ones who are liking those posts. We are the ones who are sharing. We are the ones who go to the comment section. How many people go, they see a photo, and they go directly to the comment section? May you never lack credit in Jesus' name. Lakini nyinyi tena ndio to blame, because we are now full on the comment section, and that comment section is what encourages that person to continue with that. If we all flock on the comment section to ambi, hey, mazejo unachoma, the other ones who come and tell you, wewe unafikiria nachoma kwa nini, peleka moral, whatever, huko mbali. It's us as a society. The moral erosion of society is the reason as to why we have this level of perversion. That's my humble submission from this town. I'd like you to just give us our town council to give us their final remarks. It could be a promise, it could be an expression, sitaki kuwafungia, and make it short and sweet so that we can have our lunch.
Okay, good afternoon. I believe we've learned a lot in this session. In the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports, we are aligned to the theme of today, that of youth empowerment through AI and digital skills. And we say that AI is there to support what we want to do, but it is not replacing us as persons. Let us leverage, let us benefit from what can help us to grow. We use it to grow. And Ministry of Youth is there, existed to support you, to offer you policy environment, to promote development of skills, to create opportunities that you can be able to tap from it. That environment you are working, the government has provided you to be able to grow, do business that you want, enterprise, seek the institutions that exist to be able to provide you affordable loans to enterprise and move on. So that is my submission.
Afternoon once again. As National Employment Authority, where we deal matters employment, what I can encourage the youth in liaison with the theme for this day, we need to be also employment creators. As youth, AI, which has given us a leeway to get more knowledge, more skills, we need to push ourselves, change the attitude of, I want to be employed by somebody. We can be employers. We create employment for ourselves, and NEA is there to assist you because we do a lot of mentorship, counseling, and guiding you on where you can even get the seed capital. Within the government, there are so many institutions we guide you to go to. We also do business proposals for you, and under NEA we have the public employment services, which offers free services to the youths to enable them come up with the business proposals, CV writing, and also we mentor you to understand what is that innate talent that you have apart from the formal education, the formal trainings, the formal skills you have gotten. We take you through a journey and try to understand you as a person, what that innate talent that you can use to make it profitable and also to create employment for yourself, become self-sustainable within yourself without even going for the formal employment. And we are also dealing with, I can also say, as the National Employment Authority, we are across the country. We are in 32 counties. Our services are free. We also have a website, NEA IMS, www.neaims.go.k, where now, when you say you want to get employed and you don't have a godfather, which is a problem within this country, you can get a job through our website. We match job seekers with employers without knowing anybody. Through our website, you register as a job seeker. We match you with your skills, your talents with an employer who has a vacancy. And also, there is the labor mobility where Kenyans are going abroad. As national employment, I'm requesting Kenyans, youth who want to go to work abroad. The only way to go through the process and be protected as a Kenyan youth going to work abroad, you have to pass through registered private employment agencies. And where can you get those private registered employment agencies? Is through going to our website, the NEA-IMS have talked about, the list of all employment agencies that are legit, that are offering legit jobs outside this country are there. So don't be scammed by anybody who is telling you, I'm having jobs outside. Ask them. Don't even ask them. Go to our website and ensure you check whether they are in our website. And there is the issue of travel agencies, which are taking Kenyans outside the country for jobs. If that travel agency is not registered as a private recruitment agency, please, my plea is don't use them to travel abroad. And there is a process of you traveling abroad, not just paying the commission or getting the visa and going. Even when you are going out, you also need to ensure that the contract that you are going the job you are going to work as a legit contract. You read the contents of that contract, understand them, and the contract period should match with your visa period. Usiende na visitors visa.
So.
Yes.
Yes, Asante. Make your submissions short and sweet. These people have been here since 8.
Thank you. I'll try to.
Thank you.
Now, as an authority, Nita, we are within REBA, I say that we have a huge responsibility of ensuring that people have appropriate skills for work. Now, when I look at them of the day, empowering you through AI and digital skills, then we fall into that circle in this sense. We have, one, a responsibility to ensure that you have those digital skills. Number two, if you have those digital skills, if not formally recognized, then we have a system for recognition of those skills, irrespective of how we have acquired those skills. So probably the promise from us won't be, one, is that we'll continue to avail information on where you can acquire the skill if you do not have the skills appropriate. Number two, how you can go through an assessment process if you already have the skills. And on this, what we are doing is that we are working closely with employers. And when we talk about employers and skilled people, do not think of the conventional employer. we are talking about employer in the formal and the informal sector, including yourself who has the skill. Sisi kwetu, the employer is the school, and the employee is the trainer. Shule yetu ni workplace, whether formal or informal, workplace. Because our appreciation is that it is not only the traditional school as we know it, from where you can acquire skills. Skills can be acquired within the workplace environment, and the government has appreciated. If you look at the education and learning pathways in Kenya, the government has created 5 pathways. One is basic education, primary and secondary school. The other pathway is TVET, going through TVET institutions and rising. The third pathway is higher education, where you go to university, TC, and you rise up. The most important pathway that has been now recognized is what we call the industrial training pathway, that you can run through the workplace and you acquire qualifications similar to anybody who is in the formal working or running environment. Of course, the last one, which is important, is the component of what I call recognition of prior running, where we appreciate your skill irrespective of who, when, where, for how long you acquire that skill. And through our social media platforms, and that information can be available on where this can be done. So karibuni, we quantify skills. Asante.
Thank you. We've been told to make it short and sweet. And for me, I will say we are young, we are talented, and let's complement this with skills. And when I speak about skills, let them be recognizable. And in Kenya, a recognizable skill is that skill that has been awarded by a credible awarding body. And also, let's take advantage of the various systems of being able to get a qualification, such as what my colleague has been talking about, which is recognition of prior learning. We also take advantage of what I had earlier mentioned about where in the Ministry of Education right now, we are coming up with very flexible learning pathways where it's not necessarily you stay in a class for over 2 years for you to be able to earn a qualification. You go through the various modularized program, the micro-credentials, and basically the system for RPL for you to be able not to convert what you have, which is a skill, into a qualification that you can produce it anywhere to unlock opportunities. So basically that's what I will say, that we convert our skills, and let's keep on acquiring these skills, because all these skills are recognizable. And with that, I will also urge you to follow us on all the socials. Kenya National Qualifications Authority will always provide there a lot of information, which is also good for you to be able to get. Thank you.
Good afternoon. As for me, I think being in Directorate of River Migration Management, we promise to make sure that we create more pathway. And my colleague, somebody asked a question, what are we doing because of the question that was asked about the certification? If you have a degree from Uganda, it must be certified before it is recognized in Kenya. We are trying our level best when we are negotiating memorandum of understanding and bilateral labor agreements to have Ministry of Education as a component in those agreements, such that skill recognition does not become an issue. But this is a long journey in the sense that when you talk to anybody out there, even where unemployment is not an issue, or they need more people, they will not give you on a golden plate. So we are engaging, we are trying our level best. And I think for one, is it for Germany, with MKU, they have already agreed that our nurses, their nurses are on the same level. We are trying to build the same so that when you go out there for work, you don't need to be subjected to further examination for you to fit in their schedule of employment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you so much to my town. Has been order, has been some chaos kidogo, but nobody has thrown a seat, so we are safe. We're a peaceful town. We've not occupied, Yes, but the only thing that we've occupied is our mind with information. At least we understand where our town council members come from and where the town members are actually coming from. I'll ask us all to rise. Make sure that your hands are empty. I'll ask our town council members to applaud the town. I'll in turn ask the town to applaud the council members. Tuwapigie makofi. And with that said, saini time ya kujiplug. My name is Brian Aseli. I do a show on radio. It's called Vibe Shift with Claudia Naisabwa. Support us. We have such great conversations about work and the youth. So it's important that you get to understand that it doesn't end here. So kindly follow me at Brian_Seli, follow us at Nation FM KE, and make sure that you get to follow some of the government agencies. If I were you, and if we can do it now, for every person that you meet, follow them on social media. You'll add about 150 people. If we can do that favor for each other, then our town will grow. For me, if you DM me, I'll respond to you, Brian_Aseli. Make sure that you can follow the person close to you. With that, we've come to the end of our town, and our town has been dissolved. Asante.
All right, Aseli. So in the afternoon, it's all about entertainment. All right, so in the afternoon, it's all about entertainment. Tuko na wasanii wameingia. I have more airtime to give away worth 20,000 shillings. And we have gazeti la Taifa leo wameona students wako hapa wengi. Where are students from Huruma? Are they still around? Students from Huruma, are they still around? Niko na zawadi zenu from Taifa leo. Yeah, lakini kiona mwalimu, simu inua tu mkono.
Mwalimu wako wapi? Mwalimu?
Inua tu mkono.
Walimu wa Huruma girls, just come to us, kindly. Walimu, just come.
Huruma, thank you. I have t-shirts for you from Taifa Leo. We have more competitions coming through in the afternoon, so please break a short break, 15-20 minutes. Once we are back, ni mziki back to back. If you're an artist, niko na gift, so kama ni msanii niambie, in case you're a poet, you're a singer, you're a rapper, you're a dancer, niambie.